Hello, this is Chiak. We are here with Sherlock Holmes, Nemesis, which is apparently the alternate title in Australia and the UK. Otherwise, here it's labeled as Sherlock Holmes versus Arsène Lupin. He's French, that's all I know. I think he's French. But either way, we are going to get started with this soon. Okay. Sorry, there's my neighbor's crying child. Okay, you are undertaking to portray Sherlock Holmes, the famous consulting detective of 221B Baker Street, London. During this case, you must demonstrate both sagacity and calm. Observe well the items around you and don't hesitate to click on them once you have the required information. You will obtain comments that will help in your hunt. Do not forget to interrogate anybody who may be able to inform you. Choose the right questions and pay heed to their answers. Interesting. Choose the right questions. Does that mean I can choose I can choose wrong questions to ask and have different results? I don't know. Let's see. Assure yourself that you aren't caught short by your adversary, Arsène Lupin. Will throw a number of challenges at you which will demand you are subtle and methodical. Thus, in the course of your investigations, you will have need of pencil and paper. Certain riddles will require reflection worthy of your hero. It will be challenging. At certain moments, you will need to type a keyword in response to a question in order to continue the adventure. You are at liberty to consult your notes in order to help yourself. Do not forget to read the documents that you will have gathered and glance through Sherlock's notes. They are all important. In order to advance your inquest, you will have at your disposition plans and maps which will permit you to teleport by clicking on given points. You may equally make your character run by double-clicking with the left mouse button. England's honor is at stake. Do not disappoint your adversary. Wait, I'm not supposed to disappoint the guy who's challenging me? What? I don't know if you noticed, but during that little cutscene, the kid at the end, after finishing the hopscotch, did a little boogie there. So usually I don't talk to cutscenes, but I've seen this while making sure this video is going to record. And it's the same kid who was boogieing, now running from the police. But here we have arrived at 221B Baker Street.
It looks to be the beginning of a lovely day, Holmes. There's nothing like beginning the week with a sunny Monday, with nothing more pressing to do than to see what came in the post. Would you care to take a ride up the Thames today?
I think not, Watson.
Listen, Holmes, your mood has been getting progressively worse for the past 2 weeks. I know you, and I am certain that something is bothering you. It wouldn't be bad news from Switzerland, would it?
We would already be on a boat heading towards the continent, were that the case, my dear Watson.
Very well, then, what is it? Let me guess. For the past 2 weeks, the papers have talked of nothing other than this French thief, Arsène Lupin. He's been making all of the police officers on the continent look like complete idiots. You're taking an obvious pleasure out of reading these articles.
My dear Watson.
I've put my finger on it, haven't I? I know you well. Something tells me that you will not entertain talk of this Lupin for some time. Do you recall his latest feat? Using an alias, he seduced a young Italian princess in order to rob her of a priceless set of diamond jewelry. that once belonged to the Medici. These jewels were to be part of the lady's dowry on the occasion of her marriage to the son of a wealthy, influential Sicilian. Finally, our friend, having committed his crime, left word for the local press, explaining that there was no other way for the charming lass to escape a marriage of convenience with, I quote, an uncultivated and uncouth boor without the least refinement. Since then, the lady has been confined to a convent, and rumour has it that the two outraged fathers have jointly offered a sum of countless millions of liras for the head, the rest of the body being optional, of the man who is responsible for their dishonour. Are you acquainted with the reputation of the Italian criminal milieu? Why, another letter from the zoo about those missing birds, as if we were going to be running around the whole of London chasing chickens. As I was saying, are you acquainted with the reputation of the Italian criminal milieu? This Arsène Lupin must be in hiding somewhere, surrounded by bottles of champagne and stolen treasures. How foolhardy and arrogant. Oh, these French. However, he didn't pursue this foolishness to the point of risking stepping onto British soil.
Has the cat got your tongue, Watson? What? Whatever is the matter with you, Watson? Pray tell.
This letter on the table. Holmes, read it.
You control Sherlock Holmes. Okay, so my bad. Watson pronounced it Arsène, and he's apparently Italian, if I'm getting this correctly. But okay, you control Sherlock Holmes. To move in the game, just left click on the destination, and double click will make him run. Now make you run back. Here we go. All right, good. In this game, you can change your playing perspective at will. Press R key or middle mouse button to switch to first person mode. Oh. Interesting. Okay. Press space for dynamic help and see all accessible items from your current position. You can use this button from both perspectives. So, like that. And if I was go to... Okay. This one would just... Okay, so I don't have to hold it. I just click on it and then it's going to stay up for a while. Okay. Now, time to start the game. Find the letter on the table and click it to take your inventory. Dear Mr. Holmes, before I begin, please excuse any grammatical or spelling errors that you might notice. Your language isn't my native tongue, as I come from the continent, France, to be exact. Okay, wait, so is he French then? I'm so confused. In addition, my singular subjects of conversation, whether they be oral or written, are most exquisite food and wine, the noblest arts and the sublimest woman. The whole world knows that you, people of her most gracious majesty, do not produce or even discern any manifestation of aesthetic intelligence and civilizations that sets men apart from beasts. Thus, the opportunities to practice your language are sporadic and brief. What use is there to linger with a lackey or maid? But look, I see I have made a mistake, or rather, an execrable? Sorry, it doesn't help that I never encountered this word before and it's hyphened off. Mistranslation. I said, you people of her most gracious blah blah blah. I should have said, the people of blah 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 other than you. How can I include you in this half ruddy-faced, half-pallid crowd reeking of brine and cheap beer? You stand apart, an icon. Having followed your exploits for some time and being interested in your unusual personality, I started to see in you a man of intelligence, ingenuity, and singular refinement. The incredible results in your activities and the manner in which you achieve them are marked with the seal of genius. Believe me, despite the lamentable opinion that I hold for the inhabitants of your island, I have for you an admiration without limit, which reached its apogee recently when I discovered you have a French ancestor. What unlucky stars brought you to the world elsewhere than in the motherland I call my own, that should have seen your own? Perhaps the gods desired that your presence on this island bring up the intellectual average that was so low it bordered on the absurd. The business that brings me to write this letter may bring an answer to this question. You see, events without antecedent will occur in London in the week to come, beginning on the very night of the day in which you read this letter. The purpose of these events is to bring to light a fraud, the arrogance and vanity of the English. Enough of the haughty, boring composure that the English present us when passion should be freely expressed. Enough of the derisive confidence in England's impregnability which is displayed by all of your politicians and soldiers. The English fortress is being protected by seas serving as moats. Enough of your supposed symbols of majesty and grandeur of spirit which are, in fact, merely the fruits of looting and plundering. England has measured the world by its stingy, superior smile for far too long. Thus okay, now it's spelled Arsène. You guys, really, someone should have spell checked this if it's not supposed to be like this. Right here is Arsene. Right here is Arsune. But I guess in the beginning, the letter said to ignore spelling mistakes, except for the fact that, unless that is a clue, but his own name, really? Is it, someone tell me who, speaks French. Is it Arsene? Because I still want to say Arsène, but I'll go with what Watson's pronunciation is. So Arsène Lupin had pledged to get rid of this smile. To that end, in the week to come, I pledge to steal 5 of the most representational symbols of the alleged English grandeur here in London. Once these auspicious achievements have been accomplished, I will exhibit the trophies for the world to see and will reveal the smallness of a nation incapable of preserving its pride. England will become the laughingstock of all nations, from the largest to the smallest, and will have to swallow its pride and lower its head for millennia to come. My God, this is a long letter. Imagine these self-righteous and perfidious faces who ordinarily parade the fact that they are one of Her Majesty's people will henceforth hide their origins. Being English will no longer be grounds for pride but rather shame. In brief, the debts will be paid. You are perhaps asking yourself why I have chosen to share with you my vision, which many who don't know me would consider mad. After all, if my former praises are well-founded, you are certainly the only person in England capable of stopping my plan. Like myself, you are fully aware of the inefficiency and the flagrant lack of imagination that plagues your police service. The reason for this letter is eminently narcissistic. No exceptional artist desires to produce their work for an uncultured public incapable of appreciating the true value of his prowess and talent. In you, I have found the ideal spectator, and I wish for you to follow the stages of my consecration step by step. In fact, I would almost wish for you to put yourself in my path and, in vain, to stop me from committing these thefts. But you are a busy man who doesn't like defeat. What a shame. If, despite everything, the adventures tempts you anyway, I shall leave you at a few verses that deal with tonight's target. Oh, okay, never mind. Here is my clue. All across France, everyone knows. In the blind's kingdom, you only need one eye for the crown. You treat us like blind men, it shows. 'Twas a one-eyed, one-armed man who brought us down. It is true that we failed, though we tried again. Our fate was nailed, his immortality our pain. One of the Spanish capes, the detestable pride that hangs around you like drapes. Our suffering makes you snid. An adversary came along. In order to protect victory, we were put in the wrong, and the day made history. Save the pain and defeat. The worst is in this game is that the hero we did meet carries a French name. Clearly did vengeance sound what I have in mind for this traitor sitting at his master's feet like a hound. It is is to be run aground. On my honor, tonight to hand, I will break free the binding so that all may understand. Our victory will take wing. Arsène Lupin. So maybe he is Italian. Okay. Here are items, the dialogue, our documents, nothing to report, and then we don't really have to go to the map yet. I'm assuming this is to take us... Oh, this is to close.
Holmes, this is truly unbelievable. Surely this cannot be taken seriously.
It's possible, Watson, that this letter is nothing but a prank. However, a small chance exists that both the challenge and the threat are real.
What will you do?
First, I'm going to enjoy the breakfast Mrs. Hudson has prepared. If you would be so good, Watson, as to clarify some of the riddles in the letter. Firstly, if Arsène Lupin is actually the author, as he states, why does he sign with another name? When it comes to the poem, even if an answer seems straightforward, we must be quite certain. What would the target of tonight's theft be if this letter turns out to be accurate? We have one day to find the solution and to take preventative measures. You could go see Barnes, the bookstore in Glentworth Street. Surely they'll have something that will be informative.
Oh, now I control Dr. Watson. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, is this the game with the creepy Watson thing? Unless they completely got rid of that.
Holmes's violin.
What am I looking at? Okay.
Ooh, the adventure of the dancing men, I recall. Holmes's table for experiments, a motley collection.
There's a paper underneath there, but I can't grab it, looks like. Okay, let's walk over here. Okay, interesting. So it tells me what I've already looked at. So we are going to the Barnes...
It's the steel harpoon that pierced Black Peter, master of the sea unicorn. Terrible memories. The Reichenbach Falls. What an awful memory.
Okay, so far everything has been really awful for you. Which door is which door? I'm assuming that's the door out. No? Ooh, definitely cannot go into this mode. This is going to give me a headache after a while.
Oh, what a mess. Treaty on Cornish, the Celtic language of the Cornish people. And here, medieval pottery. Holmes has an interesting taste in reading.
Very diverse.
It was
taste.
in this statue that we found the famous Black Pearl of the Borgias. Colonel Gordon. It was during the affair of the lodger in treatment. This is how Holmes organises his correspondence that is awaiting responses. If only his clients saw that. My eccentric companion keeps his shag tobacco in the toe of this Persian slipper.
Shag tobacco.
I am not ready yet, Watson.
Oh, okay, sorry. Okay, that's that. Anything else to look around? Okay, so I think that's it. Okay, I'm gonna go to... Okay, there you go. Okay, here we go. Alright. I think as Watson heads on downstairs, I'm going to end the set here. So, thank you for liking if you like. Thank you for commenting if you commented. Thank you for subscribing if you subscribed. Thank you for favoriting if you favorited. Thank you for simply clicking on this video. And until next time, guys, see ya!